Hi, this is Paul Palmer. Today I'm going to talk about culture and how it impacts us in the pharmaceutical industry. So at the moment, there's supply chains, not just at the moment, but I'm sure in future as well. They're all international. And when you look at international manufacturing operations through the different phases of the production processes for your product, you need to be aware of the cultural differences. And when you consider those differences, you need to be willing to adjust your own ways of working, the way you approach people. You need to be polite. You need to address whatever it is that they need. You can't go in for example, a shirt and tie and suit and expect to work in an office where everybody's in casual attire. If their normal is to be in jeans, then you should be there fitting in with their requirements, because otherwise you stand out and it makes it hard to work with people. When you go to your own site, whichever country you're in, and they have a dress down there, maybe it's on the Friday. Well, if you don't fit in and accommodate the dress down there, then you stand out. You stand out and maybe you don't fit in with the team, and maybe it makes it harder for you to work with them. Now, cultural differences are sometimes clear and obvious, but other times they're not. Sometimes you find that the cultural differences mean that the operators on the shop floor won't actually tell you what's going on, because maybe it's losing face, or maybe they're not allowed to, or maybe the boss has said that they can't say anything. Or maybe you come to a place and it's not just the culture, maybe it's the language as well. Maybe they don't understand what you're actually asking them. And you think it's a cultural difference, and actually it's just the fact that they thought you said something else. So going from country to country, from culture to culture, from language to language, you have to be really careful and make sure when you're actually out there working with them that you take the time to understand them. It's not down to them when you're visiting to fit in with your culture. It's down to you as the person who's visiting to fit in with their culture and accommodate their needs and behave in the way that makes them feel comfortable. If you're trying to do a deal and purchase a product from abroad, from outside the normal environment that you're in, whether that be America, whether it be Europe, wherever, and you go to another country and you expect them to fit in with your requirements just because you're buying from them, well, it doesn't really work. If you think about it, if you're going over there socially, or you're going on holiday, or you're going to meet some friends, would you really expect them to behave the way that you would back home? Well, I would say when I go to Spain, I want to enjoy the Spanish environment. When I go to India, I want to enjoy and feel the Indian culture. When I go to Japan, I want to feel the Japanese culture. When I go to America, I want to feel the American culture. So why not do the same when we're in business? So when you're going over and maybe you're auditing, make sure you understand how the culture works. Make sure that there's a way to make them understand what you're saying. When I went to Japan last time, I had a translator with me to make sure, even though the people I was going to see spoke English, we still had a translator to make sure there was full clarity during the audit and to make sure it was a successful outcome. So whenever you go to visit, consider the people that you're going to communicate with when you get there. Make sure you are communicating clearly with them so that they can communicate clearly with you. Don't offend them. Don't go away and think, oh, well, it's all their fault. Maybe it was you. Maybe you're the one that didn't fit in with their culture. Okay. Thank you for listening. Talk to you soon.